Hey guys, it's Kristin. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you what kind of filling and how I fill my dog's bones. I pretty much do this like every week or every 2 weeks, and it really helps to keep them entertained because I do work from home, so sometimes they start driving me nuts. So it's nice to be able to grab a bone and give it to them. So I'm gonna show you 3 different fillings that I use, and I'll show you how I make them and what you need. For this DIY, I'm gonna use 3 different types of fillings. We've got dog food, some pumpkin, and then peanut butter. And then these are the bones that we previously bought that are now empty, and I'm gonna refill. I'm also gonna need rubber bands and plastic wrap. And then lastly, I'm gonna use my blender, but if you don't have something like this, you can just use a fork and then just mash everything up because we want it to be really soft and almost liquidy. You can also add treats or coconut oil, other things like that to it. Just make sure if you're gonna add treats, they're soft and not like the hard bone style. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut little squares of my plastic wrap. So we're just gonna pull that out. Don't need very much, but I'm gonna cut this in half. And then pretty much you just wanna make squares. I can't even get it off the counter. So this one will probably make 4. So I'm gonna cut it in half and then half again. And then half again. All right, so if you can kind of see the size, I'll hold it in my hand so you can kind of see. So it's about that big. So now grab one of your bones and figure out which end is smaller. So I think this one's a little smaller. And all I'm gonna do is put one of these little saran plastic wrappy things on top like that and get my rubber band. And now what I recommend is pulling this as tight as you can, and then we're gonna wrap this around. Twice will probably be fine for this one, as long as the rubber band's tight. And this creates a seal, and now we can flip it over, and this is the end we're gonna fill. I'm gonna start with a can of dog food. This is probably the one the dogs like the most. It's got some chunks and other things in there, but we're gonna puree it up. We don't want it to be complete water. We want it to be a little bit chunky, but not a lot. Just gonna add this in here. So this one you could just mash up with a fork, but if you have a blender, it's a lot faster. Now I am gonna add some of these soft pill pocket treats because they're starting to go bad, where they're getting kind of hard. So I'm just gonna add a few of those, and now we'll just blend it up. I'm gonna warn you, it smells horrible. But now we're gonna scoop it into the bone. This is the reason why I said tape off the smaller end, or with the saran wrap, and leave the bigger end open, because this is gonna be a lot easier to scoop in there. And it's okay, you can see that one has a really big chunk, and that's totally fine, because once the dog gets to it, they just chew it, like normal. It does work better if it's a little chunkier. If it's just super liquidy, they go through it, I noticed, too fast. So we're just gonna fill that up like that. And now we're gonna put it in the freezer. So I'm just gonna put this in here, and then you really only need to leave it in for about 4 to 6 hours before you can give it to your dog. The next one I'm gonna do is pumpkin, and then I'm also gonna add some of this dry freezed food. We got this as a sample. So I just took these 2 things and just mixed it in a bowl since it's already kind of mashed up. But you can see it's not super thick. It still pretty much just looks like pumpkin. So I'm gonna add the other dry food. So this is what it looks like on the inside. It's almost like the dry potato flakes. We're just gonna add that in. Okay, and we'll mix that around as well. And now they have something else in there besides just pumpkin. So you might have to give it a little whack to get it down. So I just put a towel underneath because this one I'm gonna have to whack this one to get this to go down. There we go. So the last one is peanut butter, and then I'm also gonna put some of these mini training treats. I just kind of think of it as like peanut butter and chocolate chips. Now, peanut butter can be difficult because it's super sticky. So I put about a 1/4 cup of water in the bottom. That'll also help make it not so thick. And then we're gonna add some of the peanut butter in here. I'm gonna try to not get it too stuck to the side. I'd rather have it be stuck to the blade. And we're gonna do some on this side. I'm just gonna do a little bit to start with. Super, super sticky. The other thing too, by adding some treats or something that's a little more stiff to this, is it makes it easier to blend. I'm gonna just take about a handful of these little dog treats and put them in there. And then we're gonna blend that. So I'm not gonna do it too much because I wanna see how liquidy this is first. You might have to keep adjusting the water and peanut butter ratio. That's actually a perfect consistency because it's not dripping or anything. So I'm just gonna pour this in there. And you can kind of see if you look at it, it almost looks like a cookie dough. The dogs will love it. So this will last probably about a week and then I'll make more. So it's only been about 3 hours and you can see like this, I'm pushing on this really hard and it's actually done already. The peanut butter one is gonna take a little longer. It's still a little soft, but it didn't take very long and now these are ready to go. Alright, so that's it for today's video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and then hit this bell so you're alerted when I upload a video. And I'll talk to you later.